I'm Brian, also known as Young Lad, and I'm a recent graduate of the first school. Going to the first school really helped me with my career basically by bringing me to a certain standard. There's a lot of people that make music and there's a lot of people that understand music, but do they get it on a professional level? And the first provided that, so it really helped me. As soon as I graduated from the first school, the next day I was in Miami. And I always kept in contact with Coolio and Dre, and they were like so excited that I was actually in school. They had no idea, so I went down there and we started working and they presented me with a production deal, so it was cool. The very first record I got to work with Coolio and Dre was It's Good on the Carter 4. It was my first placement. It was everything, you know. Lil Wayne just came back and he had this big buzz going on. You know, the album was so anticipated and I landed it. So it was a huge opportunity. The record that got me noticed as a professional music producer was Fat Joe and Chris Brown's Another Round. It was that one record that every producer needs to get in the office in LA, New York, you know, Chicago, to get in those offices and to be around those professionals. You know, it got me there and it really helped me to a point where, you know, now I can feel confident enough to say, you know, I'm a professional music producer and let's go to the studio, let's work on some music. And people, you know, they respect it. So that was the record that a lot of people, like, they got wind of me and like, oh, okay, he's that guy, you know, so it was really dope. Some big things that you can expect from me is a game featuring Young Jeezy and Future called I Remember. It's coming out on his new album called Jesus Piece, which is, you know, I'm really happy because I used to look up to these guys and I finally got songs with them. I used to play their CDs back to back, like, yeah, I'm gonna make beats for these guys. I'm not, you know, like everybody else. So it was really dope to finally get in the studio with them and knock out a record and then it be a single. It's like, wow. A typical week for me is 90% studio, 10% thinking. It's mainly in the studio trying to get as many ideas out as I possibly can, or writing a hook, or trying to make a new loop, or anything to trigger my creativity. So even if I'm at the mall and I hear a water fountain and I hear like somebody drop a coin and I'm like, oh, what if the coin kept dropping? What if we did some drums to it? What if we, you know, it's always music with me. It's always something up and going. So a typical week for me is music. The most recent big opportunity I have on my plate is being able to finally get a publishing deal, you know, to lock in and to get in with all these artists from, you know, Beyonce to Kanye to all these big artists, to finally have that at my discretion. So I'm really happy about that. It's what every producer wants. You make a beat and you're like, man, it would be dope if Lil Wayne was on it, it'd be dope if, you know, anybody was on it, and now I have that opportunity to, you know, do that. So I'm really happy about that opportunity. Another opportunity I'm happy about is finally being able to pay a bill. You know, it gets hard. It gets hard when all you do is want to work, and, you know, no payout. But it's kind of nice to finally be able to, like, keep the lights on, you know, go to the mall, get a nice, you know, shirt or something, and enjoy life, you know, and focus on my creativity and not really on the things that you basically need. The best advice I can give to any aspiring anything to do with entertainment is make sure you love whatever you do. Don't really chase the money because it's not gonna be there. It's more of a grind, it's more of a work ethic, it's more of a day-to-day, you know, process. It's not really as easy as it looks, even though that's all you get to see, unfortunately, but it's really a lot of work. So really love whatever you do, whether it's producing or, you know, scoring films or whatever it is, just make sure you love that. So at the end of the day, if you don't make any money off of it, you can be happy with whatever you decide. I think that is like imperative. If you don't love it, don't do it. Go work at Best Buy. Always follow your passion. It works for me.